Hello, my name is Too Lazy to Level and currently I'm weak as heck. I am relying on all these Archons that I picked up along the way to deal with any of my problems. But recently I found out that my sister Lumine is in the bottom of Abyss, all the way down there. And it's time for me to become the strongest adventurer in Tevat, to reach down all the way to the bottom of the Abyss, to see what kind of information I can find. This is my journey to become the strongest adventurer in Genshin Impact. Hello and welcome to becoming the strongest adventurer in Tevat. Today I'm gonna share with you a couple of findings how I'm gonna increase the effectiveness of using the Anemo adventurer, while also upgrading him a lot more in both the talents department and the weapon department. So for the Tartaglia Zhangling Vape team, it is known, but I recently only found out, that if you use the adventurer's Anemo Tornado, Guoba is actually able to be taken with the tornado, which makes him a lot more reliable in landing his 4 hits, as Guoba is usually the most prone ability to miss ever. So using him like that definitely makes the tornado a good option to have Fire Tornado. Next to that, there is another team I'd like to discuss, which is the Angry Midget team of Xiao. Yay! So on the recent banner rerun, I decided to pull Xiao, and I want to use him together with my Anemo adventurer to try to conquer the Abyss. Now currently my Xiao is not that impressive. I grinded him up to level 80 and he is using a deathmatch from the season pass. He has alright talents and I'm leveling. I know I should level this first, but I'm doing them equally at the moment. And his artifacts are not that impressive, currently giving him only 114% crit damage, as he is also wearing a crit rate circlet. But for this team, the Anemo adventurer can strip the Anemo resist with his ultimate, while also generating some elemental particles with his E. Now, I am also considering putting my adventurer off of the Iron Sting, even though both the EM is really nice and this passive is also great for the tornado. And I am considering putting him on my R5 Favonius sword, which I have got through my adventures. Because the Favonius sword has 2 things going for me. One, it gives me a large amount of energy recharge, which makes me able to tornado more often. And I'm really playing Anemo adventurer just for the tornado. And 2, all of my attacks are very rapid hit, and I'm building him with a crit circlet. So, having him on a high crit chance is gonna cause him to always proc this passive. And with this I can funnel elemental orbs either to my Zhangling on the Vape team, or even more importantly, to Xiao on the other team. So I'm still thinking about if I want to continue with Iron Sting or move on to the Favonius Sword, as I think Favonius Sword's energy particles are actually really good. As I have been using them on Zhongli with the Favonius Lance, and this energy recharge that I get for hitting enemies, my Zhongli doesn't have impressive crit rate at the moment, and it's still really easy to proc just by basicking a couple of times. It really makes the energy management of your life a lot easier, definitely because Zhongli is usually not on the same team as my Shogun, who also massively increases ER. So for the adventurer, I'm wondering what you think. If you think Iron Sting is better, or maybe Favonius Sword could be a better option as a support Anemo traveler, please tell me in the comments below, as I'm currently still thinking about what to do. Now aside from that, I also farmed a couple of talent books. And I'm gonna level up both his ultimate and his E skill to a reasonable level, as they are currently low. Now I wonder what the game tells me here actually. There are no statistics for the Anemo adventure, so I think it is quite important to level his ultimate, as it is the main damage tool. Does he use all books? Oh, he uses every book. I didn't know that actually. But the oh yeah, it varies. That's really cool. All the Mondstadt books. So let's level them up to the point where I can. Right, so I need a couple more guides to freedom, and for this one I need a couple more of these. Let's go look at the crafting table and see what I have. So I have plenty of these books, the philosophies of ballet. Let's put on Jincho. get 6 of these. So with 6 of these talent books, and I also needed the windmill talent books. It looks like I'm out of these. So let's upgrade the tornado as far as we can for now. And with the tornado upgraded, we have much more reasonable talent levels over here. I would actually like to upgrade it once. Oh, it's the windmill once again. I can't farm these today. But this makes his talents at much more reasonable levels, so the damage should be way more noticeable now. Now, for the rest of his build, he is already at level 89. He is pretty much up there. His weapon is currently 70, but after I've made a decision on which weapon we're gonna use, I will max that. Now for his artifacts, we want to move on from this scuffed set. We're gonna need a full VV set. So I'm gonna go into the VV domain, farm a bunch, and see what we can get to give him a full VV set. So to show the interaction between the Traveler's ultimate and Guoba, if I throw out my ultimate and then right after I throw out Guoba, he gets sucked into the ultimate and he can constantly hit his ability while grouping up the enemies and applying pyro with them. And then I can just explode them with Tartaglia. And now their pyro resistance would also be nicely stripped if I had full VV. Thus I think this strat can work quite nicely for the Anemo Traveler. I just need to get a good 4-piece VV set on him. Or not even good, but just a reasonable piece. Because I don't think Anemo units have that strict of gear requirements. So I need to get a little lucky with the Anemo pieces or the VV pieces that I get. So that we can get a nice 4-piece adventure. And then we can start really testing him out. Now of course this is what we don't want to see. I don't really need these pieces. So after getting a large amount of quite mediocre artifacts, I'm gonna look at how I can upgrade my adventure to at least 4-piece VV. Or see what we can do for him. So going to the Viridescent Veneerer set, you can see I farmed a bunch. But as you can see there's still a lot of work to do here. But I want him on 4-piece VV at the minimum. So we'll have to use some suboptimal artifacts here. Now, I would really like to have a elemental mastery piece for this slot. Unfortunately, oh, you know what? I think in that case, using a purple item is better than a blue item with a stat that I don't want, or a yellow item with a stat that I don't want, like attack percent. So we're gonna put him on the purple here for now. And then, this is crit rate. It's rolled kinda bad. But at least it's the good main stat. Attack percent here is also fine. And Anemo damage here is also kind of fine. So I think we might go for Anemo damage on this one. And see if we can get these these artifacts good. Because I do think Anemo damage is kind of what we want to see, some damage increase. The other option is, well, we can have attack percent. Because the reactions don't get additional damage from this. We can have attack percent or probably elemental mastery is the best here. But I don't think I own a single piece with EM. So we're gonna roll Anemo damage for now. Or we can go this as an off piece for elemental mastery. Let's have a quick peek. So I definitely... Wait, can this even... Oh no, it can. Maybe go elemental mastery here, because that reaction is really nice. And then go crit rate on the VV set. And then have this be the off piece, as I do have some reasonably well rolled EM pieces like this one over here. So let's go with that. And then have this piece, the crit rate VV helmet. The stats are not that good, but I think we've got a sort of a build. Now I am far from an expert on the Anemo Traveler yet. So please do leave in the comments some form of feedback if you think, wow, you're doing it super wrong. This is how you should do it. This is how you should... Oof, flat there. This is how you should build the adventure. And I will definitely look at it. But for now I will be maxing this artifact for sure. Now crit rate, crit damage. This is such a 50-50 artifact. But just having these two lines is already quite nice on this purple piece. And it's for sure temporary, but it's still helping my traveler out. And let's see where... I have a lot of blue artifacts as I'm kind of swimming in mats. Ooh, flat HP, that's not what we want. Doesn't really do anything for us. We have one more roll because it's a purple piece. I would really like to see a upgrade into greater rate. What greater rate would be nice? Another flat HP. Well, I do have a lot of flat HP. It's a temporary piece. I'm not going to think too much about it. If this would roll crit chance, it would be very solid. Flat attack would be okay, I guess, but crit chance is what we want here. Flat defense, my greatest enemy. Right, let's hope it does. And flat defense again. Do we still want to have this? Look what it does, a plus 12. Flat defense twice is not what I am looking for at all. Flat defense again. I think we might want to abandon this piece. Is there any other M pieces that are interesting? So this one is also really 50-50. Let's see if my luck turns around on this piece. Because those defensive stats are really not working out for me. Defense percent again? Well, I think the game's thinking I take too much damage. Alright, crit rate. That's what we want to see. It's already better than the previous piece. I'd be satisfied if it rolls crit damage. Look, this is what I like to see. I think this makes this piece already reasonably equipable. But one more roll at the crit rate, crit damage satisfy me it as a reasonable piece. So let's go for that. Let's see how it looks. Ooh, crit damage again. Now, this is a good turnaround. Gonna use this piece for sure, but let's plus 20. And then let's plus 20 his helmet as well, even though it's not rolled well. Crit percent on a crown is just very difficult to obtain. Crit damage again. This is a good piece. It's very usable on a lot of Anemo characters as well. I feel like Kazuha would like a piece like this as well. It's not optimal, right? But it's good looking. So, to get to his helmet, it's not a good one, right? So much flat edge. But I'm gonna max it because obtaining a good crit percent helmet or anything amongst this caliber is quite difficult. Because crit rate it doesn't drop very often. So having a yellow crit rate helmet with some useful stats for me is usually good enough. I'm satisfied with it. And of course it rolls defense at the end. It wasn't perfect anyway, so I'm not going to mourn about it just being kind of bad. So to look at how we're currently running. Yeah, we have the best crit rate helmet I was able to obtain. The off-piece set piece. Then we have Elemental Mastery here with very high flat HP. Then we have a piece with good energy recharge, some EM, a lot of flat defense. I might actually... Can I fetch? I could definitely fetch some upgrades here as well. But to finish, and then we have a reasonably okay flower. Now my Zhao also stole quite a nice flower. But we have some flowers here with some reasonable upgrade potential as they have the EM line. But I think I'm gonna stick with this flower for a bit. I'm definitely gonna try to upgrade my feather though by doing this feather. And just hoping we evade the flat defense. More than once, at least, you know. Game, please. Maybe, yeah, that doesn't make it better. So, unfortunately, a lot of flat defense. Putting this at the end of it. Now let's look at our stats. I can already see an increase. We're rocking a reasonable crit rate to crit damage ratio. Now it's not very high, but having some crit rate to crit damage on your elemental carry is quite nice. And then 520 elemental mastery. So the damage by swirl and all those elements are massively increased. So proccing reactions should be hitting much harder, and the Ghost Surge should hit for a lot more. I'm hoping to slowly upgrade this VV set, but honestly with how good Anemo characters are, it's kinda fine to have this set. Now I simply need to decide between the Iron Sting and the Favonius Sword. But for next episode, I will be farming more artifacts and more talent books. And then we're going to really round up the character and max him for that Abyss 12 challenge. But for now, let's take him into Abyss 11 and give him a good field test before we go to the challenge of beating Abyss 12. So the previous team did quite well to leave this defense objective on about 90%. And we're gonna use the Traveler together with this team to see if we can defend it properly with him as well. So let's go. Let's try and get this tornado going instantly and toss a Kuoba in this. Let's give a good peek. Oh, he cannot really... He can strip the enemies, but he cannot pull them in. Not run too long on Tartaglia. I'm a little bit out of order with my ultimate, but I can definitely proc some swirl here and hit the enemy quite nicely. There we go. Do the same here. Get that tornado back. So this does about 10k damage, like 5 for the or like 7, 8k for the final hit. So these enemies I would really like to use my ultimate on. There we go. Yes, this is what I like to see. Group them all up and away from the objective. I have to get rid of these big samurai because they're hitting it hard. Being next to the objective is usually not the best idea for these kind of missions. And I would kind of like to stall this man as well. Because I would like my Tartaglia E back. As it has a notoriously long cooldown. But let's use him to get some particles from my adventure as well. That's Xiangling here. Now we just have this big samurai left, which we finish off with Xiangling Tartaglia. My tornado unfortunately doesn't do a lot here. And here we successfully defend it. So for this floor we have to beat a lot of big Fatui, so my ultimate has a lot less use. But we will strip their resistances for a bit, both with Kuoba and the ult, and focus down their healer first. Now, I don't want to use my Tartaglia skill for too long, but I would like to swirl this man a little bit. And then we can start off my combo with using Bennett ult, into Xiangling ultimate, into Tartaglia ultimate, and then we're just going to mow them down with a lot of AoE. Now this guy already has his electro shield, so we just gotta keep hammering him. Let's use the Traveler to swirl him a little bit with his own element. And then for this character, we need to use Tartaglia, but his E is temporary on quite a cooldown. But that was cleared quite rapidly in a quick fashion. Now we can stuck him into the wall as well if we'd like, and give him a Goba so he can, he can chill with them together. Good swirl damage though. Not bad. 2500 per tick. And then there's a Mirror Maiden. Let's get some swirl on that Pyro resist. With the Benny ult, Xiangling ult, Tart ult into my E. And this should really hurt her. You can see these massive vape hits being partially held by just her resistances being gone. Hitting 37k on a vape. So much. I have to clear this floor real quick with the other team. So now for the final floor. For this final floor we have to beat some more tough opponents. So the value of the swirl and the VV set really comes in here. But to begin, we need to charge our ultimates a little bit. Maybe hit him a bit with my E here. Already does good damage. Oh, I got hit by that. That attack does a very rough amount of damage, so I don't want to be hit with that too often. Just walking to me, menacingly. Right, this should almost take care of him. There we go. And now we have two big ocean creatures. Oh no, they're kind of small. I don't think I can get them with a tornado, but I can definitely swirl their resistances off here. Get to Xiangling. start dealing some pyro damage that they've never seen before. 35k, now that's what I like to see. 39k, good damage. Very good damage on the Steam comp. I feel like with a couple of small upgrades, I should definitely be able to take on Abyss 12 with the Traveler. And maybe finally meet Lumine again.